I am Zachary Gottlieb, founder and CEO of Tampa Bay Pay. I guess it's been 2.5 years since uh, I had hired, since I started working with Romy Consulting. And before I had any uh, employees or staff through Romy, every day I was handling every facet of the business: sales, support, um, account maintenance, applications, administrative work. Everything fell on my plate. Um, and we were scaling and growing, which was great, but I needed help, and I didn't know how to find um, not only help that I could afford that was within my budget at the time, but also high quality um, employees or team members that I could trust with providing the a high level of quality that I my clients were used to and that I wanted to continue to offer. Um, so Romy definitely filled the void. Now I have two awesome family members, I would say. They're not even just employees. I don't know what I would do without them. I never imagined I'd be able to pay a maternity leave, let alone grow the business. So Romy's definitely been a very significant part of that for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. That's nice to hear. Family members. What finally, when you were still alone, we still didn't have any remote employees,
Mhm.
what finally pushed you over the edge to get that help? What was it?
Uh,
When was the day that you said, okay, that's it?
I mean, I got to the point where I was like, I was not running my business. My business was running me. I just remember, I can't remember like the exact moment, but I was probably venting to Raquel about not having a life or something, and she was like, "Hey, dummy, like let me help you." Probably something like that along those lines. I don't know. And I was all right, fine. I'll do some interviews.
How about, okay, after Andrea came on your team, right? You hired Andrea after speaking with Raquel and seeing the value that Andrea brought onto your team, but how did she surprise you?
That's a good question. How did she surprise me? Well, I guess that she was, I think there's a misconception with like remote employees, or often how like how I was introduced to it was with the term virtual assistant, which I absolutely have come to hate. But
Mhm.
I was surprised because not only, I don't want to get too deep. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or a societal thing, but the employees from overseas that from Central America specifically that I'm working with are really dedicated and they care. I think that was really surprising, like how much they care. Like I could not, I don't think I could find an employee here stateside that actually like did their work with the level of pride and care that Andrea has. And she worked extra hours, she worked some weekends, and she was like dedicated to the growth that we were going through. So um, yeah.
Yes, it's for sure different. It's a cultural thing. We are similar, I'd say, in terms of like North and South America, but in South America, you get much like I think it's also the time zone, the fact that, we're on the same time zone, but in general, the culture is very hardworking for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
What made so okay, now you've hired Andrea, you've been with Andrea for 2.5 years. What happened? What made you say, screw it, I need a second one?
Well, the same thing happened where it was just I'm working 80 hours a week. I don't have a life anymore. And it's
Right.
hard. It's hard as a business owner. You see all this, you might be making more money, but your bank account is still empty because you're putting everything back into the business. So it's really hard to make the leap. Uh, all right, let me double my payroll, right? But you just kind of have to realize if you do want to continue to grow, you have to take on more expenses sometimes. And yeah, it was really just the idea of like I needed to buy back my time,
Right.
essentially. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it's a hard decision to make, but I think it's a very important one, right? So, and then finally, just one last question. What would you to say to someone who's on the fence about hiring overseas?
I would say it's a valid concern to be on the fence about it. And I would encourage them to, uh, it's a good thing to be hesitant, but, um, you know, big Fortune 500 companies have been doing it for years. And now through agencies like Romy, the small business owner has the ability to outsource. And um, I think it's important to go. Most importantly, find a reputable agency like Romy, one that has referrals and testimonials. But I would encourage them to, hey, it doesn't cost anything to at least try and go through some interviews, talk to the candidates yourself. Look at some of the resumes. Like you'll be impressed. Like these are hardworking people. They just live in a different country. Like they're very well educated. They're bilingual. Like um, they're smarter than most of the American kids running around here. So like I don't know why you wouldn't at least explore it.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks. Okay, great. So thank you, Zach. This was really great, and thank you for trusting us. We're happy to continue helping you and your team grow. So yeah.